Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so what we were discussing in the last session, virus. So we have discussed about this kingdom classification. We have seen what is Monera, Protista. We have seen about the kingdom fungi also. Then we have talked about Plantae and Animalia. So these are the topics which we have already seen. Now we have to talk about virus, but before virus, we are going to see some questions. Okay. So, first question is this: which of the following statements are correct regarding the general difference between plant and animal cells? Plant cells have cellulose cell wall, while animal cell have no such cell wall, or while animal cell doesn't. Plant cells do not have plasma membrane, unlike animal cells which do. Mature plant cell has one large vacuole, while an animal cell has many small vacuoles. C option. So if we look at this, you can see this easily, this first part, that plant cells have cellulose cell wall. We know that plant cell is having the cellulose cell wall. So first one is correct. Second is showing plant cell do not have plasma membrane. So that is incorrect. And third is saying mature plant cell has one large vacuole, while animal cell has many small vacuoles. So this third statement is correct. So hence answer is C option. Then we have this one question: which one of the following is the process involved in photosynthesis? Potential energy is released to form free energy. Free energy is converted into potential energy and stored. Food is oxidized to release carbon dioxide and water. Oxygen is taken and carbon dioxide and water vapor are given out. So about the photosynthesis, I think you all know photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. You don't have to form consensus. You have to give like answer individually. In parliament, we form consensus. Okay. So here we have the photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, what we do, like they are getting the energy from the sun and they are converting it in form of food. So this sun is free energy and this is potential energy. This is the free energy and it is the potential energy. Here it is saying potential energy is released to form free energy. That is incorrect. Free energy is converted into potential energy and stored. That is correct. There is no such oxidation of food and there is no such oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. So in this question, free energy is converted into potential energy and stored. Which organelle in the cell other than nucleus contains DNA? ये बहुत आसान है. Okay. If you have given UPSC exam in 2001, first rank, okay, so everyone would have got combined first rank. Okay. Now here we have this one question. With reference to stem cells frequently in the news, which of them are correct? Stem cells can be derived from mammals only. Stem cells can be used for screening new drugs. Stem cells can be used for medical therapies. B option, C option or A option? See, it is saying stem cells can be used for medical therapies. You know, this is quite common. Okay. Stem cells can be used for medical therapies. So that is very simple. We know that. Stem cell can be used for screening new drugs. If we want to check new drugs also, so that can be possible with the help of these stem cells. It is saying it can be derived from mammals only, so it's not like that. It can be derived from other organisms also. Stem cell is the one from which everything else is growing. Okay. Like if you see the hen also, it is giving one egg. From that egg also we can see there is development of the entire new hen. Okay. So there is also we have stem cells. So it is not limited to this humans or mammals only. First option is incorrect. Answer is B option. Then we have this one question, which of the following is a characteristic feature of prokaryotic cell? Membrane bound organelle, nucleoid region, presence of nuclear envelope, or multicellularity. This is question number 5. Which of the following is a characteristic feature of prokaryotic cell? First is saying membrane bound organelle. Do they have membrane bound organelle? They don't have membrane bound. They are saying multicellularity. There is no such multicellularity. We have seen that. Presence of nuclear envelope. No. So you can eliminate the ones which you know. Okay. Then you have one remaining thing, nucleoid region. Nucleoid region is the region where we have the presence of genetic material. Okay. So you know the three things, that this cannot be there. There is no such membrane bound organelle. There is no such presence of nuclear envelope. Neither there is multicellularity. Okay. So hence answer will be option number B. Okay. Which of the following is true regarding eukaryotic cell? They have circular DNA. They lack a true nucleus. They contain membrane bound organelle. They lack ribosome. Okay. So you know about this? Okay, this was the easy one. Okay. So they contain membrane bound organelles. This is easy. Okay. A main function of white blood cells. So that is also easy. These are the previous year questions with respect to cell topic. Okay. Considering the large scale capability of a stem cell research have become vital. Region, a complete embryo is developed from stem cells. Now this is the question where you have to give this answer on the basis of whether A and both are correct and whether they are providing the correct explanation or not. In 2025 prelims exam, UPSC got confused in one question. Okay. UPSC itself got confused, like there was somewhat error in framing of a question. Okay. If you see question number 7 or 8 of set C, you will find that question. Okay. So I have explained it also, like when we were discussing the answer key, then also have explained it. Maybe that question will be dropped because options were not framed correctly. Okay. In that question, they have mixed this A and R. Okay. So in option A and option B, you will find the mistake. So they have like maybe there was misprint or there was some problem in like framing of questions. That question was easy. Okay. If it was been framed easily, then you would have got additional 2 marks. But there was problem in framing of the question, so that's why in prelims 2025 also one question is going to be dropped. Okay. Now here if we look at this, what is your answer? C option, A option. So it is saying considering the large scale capability of a stem cell research have become vital. What is the main assertion? Main assertion is that stem cell research have become vital. Okay. This is one part. Secondly, saying a complete embryo is developed from stem cell. Okay. So if you look at this, this statement is correct. But is it explaining why they have become vital? The question is saying the main assertion is stem cell research is vital. If they have given it that with the help of a stem cell we can cure diseases or we can make organs or anything, then it would have been correct. that stem cells can be used for therapies and others. So there is no such region which is provided that why they have become vital. So both of them are individually correct. Both of them are individually correct, but it is not the explanation of it. So hence option B will be there, that A and R both are correct, but they are not explaining it. So in assertion and reasoning, and UPSC has increased the number. Now they are doing also one thing. They are not giving 2 statements. They are giving 3 statements. Okay. So that is easy. Okay. Because in that you know about 1 statement. The first statement is always going to be correct. Because in 2 statement question, the option is being framed in such a manner that you can easily understand about the first statement. You have to just see second and third. So that is one problem in formatting of 3 statement based question. The first statement is already known, it is correct. Now second and third you have to see whether they are correct or not. So this is some questions, we will see more questions from that. These are previous year questions with respect to the cell topic. Okay. Now, we were discussing about virus, and I told you that we have different types of virus. So one of the viruses, like we will see 3 different classification. One is DNA virus versus RNA virus. This is one classification which we will see. We have first seen this, what is virus? Virus is basically a genetic material. It can be RNA, it can be DNA. We have also discussed a little bit about viroids and prions. Okay. So we have seen that these are genetic materials, and in fact prions is not even a genetic material, it is mainly a protein which is folded in a complex manner. So we will see this one part, DNA versus RNA. Then we will see this positive sense virus and negative sense virus. Which one is good? Positive sense virus or negative sense virus? None of them are good. Both of them are causing infection. Okay. One is more harmful, one is less harmful. Both of them are bad. Okay. So there is one thing called positive sense virus, one is negative sense virus. And then we will see there is one thing called as adenovirus and retrovirus. So we will discuss these 3 main types of classification. First, about DNA and RNA. As it is clear from the name, DNA viruses are those viruses which are having their main genetic material as DNA. When they will infect a cell, they will try to enter into the nucleus and they will try to modify the DNA directly. So here we see that in the case of DNA virus, their genetic material, it is DNA. It is DNA. And when they enter some cell, if they are entering into any of the living cell, what they are going to do? They are going to modify the DNA of that organism directly. So what we will see that when they enter the cell, if they are going to the cell, they are going to directly modify the DNA. So here it is no such like intermediate process. They are going to enter into the cell, they will enter into the nucleus and they will directly modify the existing DNA of any such organism or any such cell. On the other hand, if we are talking about the RNA virus, what they will do? See, RNA is what? RNA is an instruction. RNA is mostly an instruction. The first RNA virus will go into the cell, they will take over the ribosome, and by taking over the ribosome, they are going to create genetic copies which are then going to modify the genetic structure of the cell. So here in the case of RNA virus, they are going to control the cell organelle. They are going to control the cell organelle and then they will modify the DNA. It is not direct modification. In the case of DNA virus, there is direct modification. They will enter into the body, they will enter into the cell and directly modify the DNA. When the RNA virus goes into the cell, they are first going to take over the cell organelles, then they are going to make the they are going to make different DNA materials or genetic materials, and then they are going to modify it. So that is one type of RNA virus. So here RNA goes, take control over the ribosome, and with the help of ribosome they will make proteins and nucleic acids, and with the help of them they are going to modify the DNA or modify the cell or replicate themselves. So all these things are going to take place with the help of RNA. So just tell me one part, which one is going to be more aggressive, RNA or DNA? DNA based are going to be much more aggressive, and they are able to impact animals. They are able to impact animals at a large scale. They are able to impact the animals at large scale. Whereas RNA virus, although they are impacting animals also, but they mostly impact the plants. So here we see that mostly plants, they impact mostly plants, but can impact also animal, plus also animals. But in the case of animals, it will not be like it is not going to create immediate impact. It will take some time. Like you see, COVID virus. COVID virus is also a RNA based virus. How much is the incubation time? Around 10-14 days. Okay. Like you are taking around, they are taking around 10 to 14 days to become effective in order to impact the body. So their incubation period is higher. Like they take longer period of time. Some people are having lesser immunity, they can be infected within a few days. But generally what we see that they take a longer period of time to infect the humans. Their incubation period is higher. So there is one type of virus which is largely the DNA virus, the other which is RNA virus. Within the RNA virus section, we have one type of virus which is positive sense and then negative sense. So within the RNA, within this section, we have this one type, the positive sense and the negative sense. So let me tell you how they work. If we are talking about positive sense, like suppose this is a cell, here if there is a positive sense virus, they are going to enter into the cell and they will directly take control of the ribosome. When they go inside the body, they will directly take control of the ribosome. But if there is a negative sense virus, so first they will go into the cell, they are going to create a complementary RNA. They are going to create a complementary RNA. Here they will create a complementary RNA. And then this RNA is going to take over the cell or its ribosome. So they are not going to directly impact. First they will go inside, means it is further delayed. It is more delayed. So here they will positive sense, they will go into the cell, they will take over ribosome, they will modify the DNA. Later on they will modify the DNA. But the negative sense, first they will go here, they will create a complementary RNA, then with the help of the complementary RNA, then they are going to invade the cell. So they have added one extra step. They have to create an additional RNA in order to take control of the cell. Like here if we take the example, the positive sense virus is COVID, the negative sense virus is HMPV virus. Last year there was again a news article that China has made a new virus. Okay. Human metapneumovirus, which was famous during the time of winters. So people were hoping there will be no exam. Okay. So that didn't occur. We didn't have that much of challenge with respect to HMPV virus. But yes, infection cases were rising. But as compared to COVID, this is a smaller virus. This is a negative sense virus. It cannot spread in the same manner as COVID. It is not going to spread in the same manner as COVID. Now, most of these viruses, there is one more part. What you will see that most of these RNA virus, what they do, when they are going inside the cell, they are invading upon the cell just to create, new RNAs. Means they want their population to grow. They want to create more and more viruses like them. They want to replicate themselves. So that is one nature of the RNA virus. When they go inside, they want to create more and more RNA. That's why they are invading the cell. They want to increase their population, whether it is positive sense, negative sense. The ultimate aim is to take control of the cell so that their members will increase. First part is DNA virus, second part is RNA virus. In the RNA section, we have one thing called as positive sense, another thing is called as negative sense. It is, both of them are RNA virus. Positive sense virus goes inside the body, take control of the cell organelle and starts making its protein or its RNA structure, it starts replicating itself. Whereas this negative sense, first they have to make a complementary RNA. So just if you take an example, there was there were two different type of invaders. Some invaders came to India, they directly defeated some rulers, and then they took control of various territories. If you have seen medieval history or if you have seen ancient history, you have seen that some of the attackers were there, they directly came in with their own army and they took control of the territory. So they are like positive sense virus. Negative sense virus is Britishers. They came to India, they didn't fight with India. What they did, they started raising the army internally. And once they have got their own army inside India, they used it to defeat the various kings of India. So negative sense virus is like this. First they enter inside the body, they create their complementary structure, and with the help of that complementary structure, then they are invading upon the cell, then they are capturing the cell and using it to increase their population. So they work in this manner, positive sense and negative sense virus. So first write about these four. First part is write a little bit about virus. In virus you can write corona is positive sense virus. Write this one part. A virus is made up of genetic material. A virus is made up of genetic material. It can be DNA, it can be DNA or RNA. A double strand DNA virus, a double strand DNA virus is called as adenovirus. A double strand DNA virus is called as adenovirus. So this is first part. Okay. Now write this one thing. just give one subheading, DNA virus. In that you can write DNA viruses are entering into the cell. DNA viruses are entering into the cell and they are creating DNA structures. They are creating DNA structures inside the cell by using the machinery of the cell. By using the machinery of the cell. They are using the machinery of the cell. DNA viruses often impact animals. Next, RNA virus. RNA virus infect the cell. RNA virus infect the cell and use its machinery to create RNA structures or copy. To create RNA copy. RNA copy means its own copy. Okay. To create RNA copy. These viruses can be of two types. These viruses can be of two types. Positive sense RNA, negative sense RNA. These viruses can be of two types: positive sense RNA, negative sense RNA virus. In positive sense, you can write positive sense RNA virus directly impact the cell machinery. Example: polio, hepatitis C, poliovirus, hepatitis C. Etc. Negative sense, next one, negative sense RNA virus. Negative sense RNA virus create a complementary copy of its RNA, creates a complementary copy of its RNA before infecting the cell machinery. Example: rabies, influenza, HMPV, etc. These are 4 different type of viruses. Now, I have given you one such example, that a double strand DNA virus is adenovirus. Now, try to understand that what is the difference between adenovirus and retrovirus. Adenovirus and retrovirus. See, adenovirus is a DNA based virus. This one, if we look at this, it is a DNA based virus. So, when it is going inside the body, inside the cell, it is going to create its replica. It will create its replica, that is most common thing. That when it goes inside the cell, it will create a copy of DNA. This is going to create a copy of DNA. So, this is the normal process. Any DNA based virus is going to go inside the body and it will create a DNA itself. So, that is one normal behavior. But what we see that retrovirus, this is a RNA based virus. It is a RNA based RNA virus. Now, normally it should have created what? It should have created RNA. Normally it should have created RNA. But what it does, when it goes inside the body, it creates a DNA. It creates a DNA. Okay. Using the cell machinery, it is creating a DNA, and then using that DNA, it is infecting the cell. Then it is infecting the cell, or rather you can say taking over the cell. Okay. So, this is a deceptive one. Okay. This is one thing which is deceptive in nature, because if you know that, like suppose, just to give an example, that if people are coming with horses and they are showing that they have swords, okay, so then you know that how you have to fight them. So, you have also sent your army that, okay, go with swords. Since they are coming with swords, you are also going with swords. But when they come near, they suddenly pull out their guns. So, you have gone there with swords, you thought that they are also coming with swords, so we are going to fight them. But when you go near to them, they have suddenly kept their swords and they have come out with pistols and guns. So, then you have no option. So, that is the case here with retrovirus. Retrovirus is deceiving the cell, it is decepting the cell that we are only RNA based virus. The cell is going to prepare a response like that. But when they actually come into the cell, they create a DNA copy and use that DNA copy to then invade upon the cell. And the major virus which you know here is HIV. HIV virus is the one major type of retrovirus, and you can see this one part, like we have got vaccines for everything, but we have no such vaccines for HIV. So, why we have no such vaccines? Because it is highly deceptive. It is highly deceptive in nature, and HIV has another very important part. Generally, the viruses of different types are infecting different organs. Like some are infecting the lungs, some are infecting the stomach, some are infecting intestine, some are impacting kidney. This one impacts the T cells. T cells are the one which destroys all other viruses. Okay. T cells are responsible for destruction of all the viruses in the body, and this one is infecting the T cell itself. So, that is the challenge with HIV. This is impacting the T cells of the body. So, in that case, there is no defense left in the body. So, T cell is the main immune cell of our body, the lymphatic system, the main part of our defense system, and it is infecting that itself. So, this is one of the challenge with case of retrovirus. Retroviruses are those viruses which are highly deceptive. So since we don't know how they are going to prepare the response or how they are going to create the complementary DNA, we are not able to create a vaccine for them. We can create a vaccine which we know that it is not going to change, but when it goes inside the body, it changes itself. It changes itself after going inside the body. That's why we are not able to create a effective vaccine against HIV. Okay. So this is one part. Okay. Now, HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Okay. HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. The one which causes the deficiency in the immune system. Okay. Most of the viruses which you see, which are becoming very common these days, they are generally, most of the time, RNA based virus. Some of them can be positive sense, some of them can be negative sense. So they are becoming very much common in the present times. Like we have seen examples, for example, here we have seen polio, hepatitis, rabies, influenza, HMPV, COVID, Nipah, all other things. They are all coming under this series. Zika also. Okay. So chikungunya also, dengue also, same family. Okay. They are siblings like Zika, chikungunya, dengue. They are belonging to the same family. So they are same type of viruses. Now, so this is one part about virus. When we will come to disease section, we will see some disease causing viruses also. But right now we have seen their structure. We have also talked about viroids and prions. Okay. So write a little bit about viroids. Vaccine part we will discuss later. Okay. Vaccine part we are going to discuss later, that how vaccination works. Okay. Write about this viroids. Last day we have discussed about this viroids. Here you can write down, they contain a smaller RNA. They contain a smaller RNA as compared to, they contain a smaller RNA as compared to viruses. Viroids are causing infection. Viroids are causing infection. Viroids are causing infection mostly in plants. Viroids are causing infection mostly in plants. For example, tuber disease in potato, spindle tuber disease, spindle tuber disease. Spindle tuber disease in potato. Tobacco has also this one problem, mosaic disease. Okay. So there is also one thing called as mosaic disease in tobacco. Then write about this prions also. Prions are the next part, prions. 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 Don't consider them as prawns. Okay. They are not prawns, they are prions. Okay. They are not like DNA or RNA. They are not like DNA or RNA. They are not like DNA or RNA. They are simply com they are simply proteins. They are simply proteins in a complexly folded in a complex folded manner. They are simply proteins in a complex folded manner. They are simply proteins in a complexly folded manner. Proteins in complexly folded manner. They are impacting they are impacting the nervous system. They are impacting the nervous system of cattle. They are impacting the nervous system of cattle. They can also cause they can also cause Jacob disease. Jacob, name is there, Jacob. Jacob disease in humans. The one person who founded this, on his name, this name has been given. Okay. So they can also cause Jacob disease in humans. They can also cause Jacob disease in humans, which causes degradation of nervous system of humans, of human nervous system. Human nervous system. So see, if you compare this, like suppose we have suppose this is a RNA structure. So this is our virus, RNA virus. If we are having a smaller RNA, this is our viroids. But if we are having just some proteins, so that is our prions. Means where there is no such proper structure. In case of, it is just a folded protein, it is not a complete RNA or DNA. You know that proteins will combine together in a series to form RNA or DNA. So when there is only some proteins which has no fixed shape or size, it is basically our prions. If they have created a small piece of RNA, they become viroids. If they have created a rather more complex form of RNA, they are viruses. And even in case of virus, there can be further evolution that they are forming an entire DNA structure. What you will see that if you go like this, that then we are having the second part. This is a DNA based structure which is forming the DNA virus. Now just after this, you can see the evolution is starting from here. Prions, viroids, then we have RNA virus, then we have DNA virus. After this, what will come? Living organisms. After this, we will have the beginning of bacteria and all. Okay. So if you see the evolution of life, that how it all starts, it is started from some folded proteins which are basically prions. Then we see viroids may have formed. Then viruses may have come up. Then in viruses, DNA based viruses may have come up. And some of these DNA based viruses itself may have got converted in form of living organism or the bacteria. And then bacteria also evolved, so gradually they reached up to humans. Okay. So humans are considered as the last chain in evolution as of now. Okay. So we are the last. Okay. Maybe something else will come later on. Okay. AI. Okay. So this is one part. And now there was this one question about adenovirus. Okay. Like all the things which were having commonly, common cold, conjunctivitis, etc. They are part of the adenovirus, the DNA based viruses. Retro? It can come back in this manner also. Like if we are having RNA, it can be further degraded also, which can lead to formation of the viroids or the prions. So it goes both way. Evolution goes both ways. Okay. Due to see, it is not like we are always going to have positive environment. Like for example, we have seen the evolution up to dinosaurs. We have seen evolution up to dinosaurs, which were largely evolved organisms. But after dinosaurs, have we seen like much more evolved organisms than dinosaurs? No. So there is like, if we see the entire 3800 million years of life, so in that part, we have seen that multiple times there has been evolution of organisms, and sometimes we have been going in the like backward directions also. So it is not only for viruses, it is for other organisms also. Like sometimes we will become evolved, and after the change in environment, there may be some things which may even be dropped. So now how you look at this, like whether you look at it as progressive, something new, or going back to, if you are saying that we are going back to the previous times, then you can call it, it's a regressive. So it happens in case of humans also, it happens in case of animals also, plants also, bacteria also. All the organisms are having progressive and regressive evolution. They can go in both manner as per the complex environmental condition. Like suppose that initially, if you see the Earth's climate, it's not that we are going for global warming for the first time or the last time. Global warming is one small phase. It will be lasting for 200 years, 300 years, 1000 years. After that 1000 years, almost all the animals will be lost. Okay. Then we will see that after the animals are lost, there will be dominance of plants. When the plants will be dominant, then after again it will be global cooling. After the global cooling, there will be again next phase where we will see that many other things will be lost, and gradually there will be a period of warming. So global warming is not the first time. Global warming will occur multiple times. Within 20,000 years, Earth transforms in a great manner. Okay. Within just 20,000 years, Earth will transform in a great manner. Like the things which are there right now, they may not be there. Okay. For Earth, it doesn't matter. There have been like hundreds of times of global warming, hundreds of times of global cooling. Okay. So it will come on, it will come also, it will go also. For Earth, it doesn't matter. Earth has been heated up to like 4500 degrees Celsius in past. You are having 15 degrees Celsius right now. Okay. So it is going to change. In the past, Earth was having up to 4500 degrees Celsius temperature also. And then it was minus freezing degree temperature also. So these things change. Just like 20 or 30 crore years ago, there was no Himalaya. Okay. If you go, Himalayas formation started something around 3800 million years ago when it crossed equator. Final formation of Himalaya something around 11 to 15 million years ago. 11 to 15 million means very small period of time, 1 to 2 crore. Okay. So then after again 1 or 2 crore year later, there will be no Himalayas, there will be nothing. Like Aravallis were one time taller than Himalaya. If you see Aravalli, you can easily climb there now. Okay. You can easily go there on Aravallis. Aravallis were at one point of time higher than even Himalayas. So due to change in these earth condition, due to change in the environmental conditions, organism will keep on evolving. Humans may be there or not, but still evolution will go on. Okay. So it is a story of 380 crore years. In 380 crore years, there has been many changes. So this is our virus portion. Okay. Now, after virus, we are coming to the next problem, human body. Okay. Not problem, but the exam related problem. Okay. So in human body, we will see the vaccination and medicine part later. Disease, vaccine and medication, we will see later. There is a region. First, we have to understand how the human body works, then we will be able to understand how the vaccines work. If we don't understand how human body works, we will not be getting the vaccination part. Okay. So here we are going to talk about this one section. Human body. Okay. Adenovirus and retrovirus I have not dictated. Achha, write a little bit about adeno and retrovirus. Just write a little bit about adenovirus and retrovirus. Like I have written it here. Why are you not taking the note from here? Just note it down, it is sufficient. You don't have to write it in the exam. You have to just identify it. It's not expected like in the exam that you are going to take a detailed notes of what is adenovirus, write in 250 words. Okay. You have to just identify it there. So make short notes. Like it should not be like this that you are making science tech note of 500 pages and then you are not revising it. Okay. So make short notes. So just this much is sufficient. So then after we are coming to this human body, and in human body we are going to talk about certain systems. The most important system which we are going to talk about, circulatory system, respiratory. Then we are going to talk about digestive, nervous and lymphatic system. We will also see this endocrine and exocrine glands. Endocrine and exocrine. So these are the topics which we are going to discuss. The skeletal system, I will show you what is a skeletal system. We have bones all over the body. Okay. Bones, muscles and everything. I will show that to you, but we are not writing about it. We are going to mainly discuss this circulatory system, respiratory and digestive and nervous system, plus this lymphatic system. So these are the 5 main systems which we are going to see, which is going to be relevant for your exam. Main relevance will be this one and this one. Okay. All the remaining ones and third one also, sorry, respiratory. This is because of pollution. Okay. This is because of pollution that respiratory system is important for your exam. Otherwise, there was no use of it. Okay. For exam purpose. Okay. For exam purpose, there was no use of it. Okay. So these are the 3 main systems from where you can expect questions in exam. UPSC is not going to ask you how many bones we have, okay, or how many muscles we have, how many tissues we have. They are not going to ask you also this part that human eyes can dilate up to 100 times. Okay. If you see the circumference of human eyes, it can increase up to 100 times. This is the most expandable organ in our body. If you see area wise, it is the most expandable organ. Okay. So they are not going to ask these things. Okay. So we are going to confine our study to these systems and their applications. Now, in human body, we have one thing called as circulatory system. Okay. And this circulatory system is consisting of certain things like, in the circulatory system, we have one thing called as blood. We have another thing called as vessels. And third thing which we have here is the heart. So we are having 3 things in here: blood, vessels and heart. When we are talking about the blood, blood is type of a connecting tissue. It is like connecting the different parts of body. and it has different application, it has different roles in our body. So we will first try to understand that what roles are being performed by the blood in our body. Why the blood is one of the most important part of our body. First thing, blood is providing oxygen. Okay. Why the oxygen is important for us? Oxygen is required by us because we need energy, and energy can be broken down or energy can be created inside the body with the help of oxygen only. Okay. If we create something with chemosynthesis, we can survive for some time but not for a longer period of time. Okay. So we can do chemoprocessing also. We can oxidize our food with the help of chemicals also. But this is not going to be beneficial for us in the long term. Ultimately, we need oxygen. Okay. So this is one thing. Our body is going to require oxygen continuously for making the energy. And why the energy? Like suppose even now if you are sitting and doing nothing, then also at least your digestive system is working, your heart is beating, your lungs are at least working. Okay. So for these basic things also you require some energy. You require energy even for sitting here, even for keeping your eyes open. Okay. Even for sitting also you require a huge amount of energy. Even if you have to sleep also, sleeping also requires energy. Okay. So when you are sleeping for long period of time, you are wasting your energy. Okay. So everything requires energy. Sleeping is like an active part. Sleeping is like cutting you off from the rest of the world. Like all and other senses are being controlled at that time, that you don't have to wake up. Okay. So sleeping is an active part which requires energy. So sleeping, standing, sitting, simply doing anything, simply living, it requires energy. And for that energy you require oxygen. And for oxygen you require blood. Because blood is the one which is providing oxygen to each and every cell of our body. And every cell is making its own energy. So that is one part, that it is providing the oxygen. Second thing, it is also transporting the food. When we are eating something, it goes into our digestive system. And from the digestive system, the digested food is picked up by the blood and it is transported to all the different cells of the body. So again here, whether it is food or water, here also we require the use of blood. So that is another responsibility. Blood is also required for maintaining the temperature of the body. Blood is also controlling the temperature of the body. So this is also one section. Whenever you are feeling like you have got fever or something, it is because of your blood. Okay. The blood heats up the different part of the body. Why do we have fever? Why do we get fever? Why do we get fever? Fever is not a disease. It is a defense mechanism. Like if a bacteria is inside your body or if a virus is inside your body, then the body recognizes that as a threat. And in order to fight that, it increases the temperature of the body so that that bacteria or virus can be eliminated. And what do? As soon as we get fever, we take paracetamol. Body has been working all the day like to just increase the temperature. Even increasing temperature requires energy. Like sometimes when you have fever, you also get this one part that you are feeling energyless for a few days. Why? Because that energy was used to raise the temperature of the body. So body has worked all day long to increase the temperature, and just as it is able to reach 100 degrees Celsius, what do people do? They waste all the effort of the body take one single paracetamol, and body says leave it to them, that's our work is over. Okay. So that is one part. It is also increasing the temperature. It is also increasing the temperature. There is one more part. If the temperature is too high, if it is going like 102, 13, then it is harmful for our organs. So in that case, doctor advises to take medicine. If it is a very high fever, then it is harmful to our organs also. So when it is said that you should take doctor's advice before taking medicine, this is why. Okay. That if you take medication on your own, then you are like doing harm to your body. Okay. So this is one part of it. Like even if you go to doctor, even if they are prescribing you, this medicine, and if they have truly done MBBS, so then they will not be saying that take medicine at any point of time. They will say that only in case of high fever you have to take the medicine, otherwise keep that paracetamol with you. So this is one thing, doctors mention this, that you will take this medicine of fever only and only when you have high fever, not in general. Otherwise you can take other antibiotics but not the paracetamol. Only in high case of fever you have to take it. So this is one thing, it is increasing it is regulating the temperature of the body also. Why it is also important? See, in the times of winter, we have to also maintain our body temperature. In time of summer also we have to maintain our body temperature. You can survive without AC also or without sweater also. Okay. Humans are able to survive without AC also, without sweater also in normal conditions. But we have made it a habit. Okay. We have made it a habit that we have to wear the sweaters also. Some people are like taking the blanket with them. Okay. Even if they are going out, they are taking the blanket with them. So it is your own thought that you are feeling that cold. You can change that by yourself itself. Okay. So body is able to maintain its temperature. Even if you are feeling too much heat, just sit calmly over there for some time, body will maintain its temperature by its own. Okay. So body has this ability to regulate its temperature. We are having that privilege. We are the warm-blooded animals who can regulate their temperature. Okay. So this is one thing. It is also regulating the temperature. It is the one which is also fighting against the diseases. The white blood cells which are part of it, they are fighting against diseases. So that is also their work. That blood is doing all these things. It is also maintaining the pH level of the body. It is also doing all other things. Like hormones are also getting by the help of blood. All the transportation work is being done by this. Okay. All sort of transportation. All other transportation. So these are the work of our blood. They are doing all these transportation activities inside our body. Now this blood, it is having different type of cells. So we will see this classification of the blood. We will see this classification of the blood. It is having one thing called as RBC, WBC and platelets. It is having these three things: red blood cell, white blood cells and platelets. Okay. When we talk about red blood cells, what is their primary duty? They are carrying the oxygen and sometimes carbon dioxide also, or some amount of carbon dioxide also. Okay. So their one single role is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. They are doing this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, like from the lungs to all cells and vice versa. So that is their primary duty. But there is one such part of the body which is not getting the supply of RBC. Which one? Heart. No, heart is getting. If you don't have blood in heart, heart is getting it. Okay. Normally, most of the part of the body receives the blood receives the blood and the RBC. They are getting the oxygen from the RBC. But there is one part of our body which is not receiving it. It is the head, nails. Plug the nails. Somewhat supply is there. See, nails are automatically dead cell, so they don't require it also. Even the hairs which are there, dead cells, so they don't require it. But in the roots, there is presence of these. In the roots of nails also, in the roots of hair also, there is presence of blood. In fact, if you are losing the hair, one of the main reason is blood supply is impacted. When you are said that you should be having regular head massage, it is just because of this. If you are having regular head massage, then the blood supply is proper, and then your hair growth will also be proper. So there is one part of the body, the active part, which is not getting the blood. It is the cornea of the eyes. Okay. The cornea of the eyes, the bigger part, the white part, it is not receiving. It is not receiving the blood supply. Okay. How does it get the oxygen? Yes, they are taking the oxygen directly from the air. Okay. So that's why you should always keep your eyes open. Even when you are sleeping, even when you are taking a nap, you will find that some portion of your eyelid is open. You cannot see yourself, but you can see of your friend. Okay. That even when they are sleeping, a little bit portion of the eye is still open. Okay. So why it is open? Because it requires that oxygen. Okay. And if you sleep for a longer period of time, like one day you decided today is Sunday, 16 hours of nap. Normally we are taking only 12 hours, so let's have 16 hours today. So in that case, you will find that your eyes will be having a little bit of swelling. Okay. When you are sleeping for a long period of time, there is a swelling. That swelling occurs because eye is lacking oxygen. So they require the oxygen supply, that's why there is a swelling. Okay. Those people who are in hospitals also, if they have been hospitalized and they are in unconscious condition, will find that their eyelids become a little bit swollen, so that they can get regular supply of oxygen. Now in movies, they will not be able to show it. Okay. In movies, if you see someone, even if they are in coma for like 10 years, they will still appear the same. But if you look in reality, it will be quite different. Okay. In movies, you will find that people are in coma for 10 years and still they are like well dressed, always ready, all makeup and everything. Okay. So don't think that from there you can get the idea. So generally, if people are hospitalized also, their eyelid will become swollen, so that they can get oxygen. Otherwise, the power of the cornea or this cornea will be impacted also. Eyesight can be also affected. Okay. Multiple regions are there. There are multiple regions, including the light and everything. We will come to that discussion sometimes later. Okay. It is not related to this blood part. Okay. So here what we see that RBC is doing this exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide from the lungs to all the cells and vice versa. Okay. What if someone is dead? Then they don't need oxygen. So why they will need oxygen when they are dead? Now, why are you asking this question? If someone is dead, what they will do of oxygen? If they are dead, they don't need that cornea to also work. okay, then everything becomes silent. Okay. So that is one RBC. Now in white blood cells, we have like multiple types of cells. White blood cell is not of one type. Okay. What we see that in this category, we are having basophils, we are having the neutrophils, eosinophils, monocytes, and lymphocytes. We are having multiple types of cells in case of white blood cell: basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil, monocytes, lymphocytes. They are all having different target groups. They are all having different target groups, from allergy to different types of viruses. Okay. So you don't have to go for NEAT also there. Okay. So you have to just remember that white blood cell is generally working for fight against all types of infection. Okay. Fight against infection. Fight against infection, disease, or defective cells, So they have this one prime duty: they are fighting against infection, diseases, or defective cell. In this category, you have one special type of cell which you have to see, okay, and that is in the lymphocyte category. Although we will see them in lymphatic system also, they are part of lymphatic system also and circulatory system also. But here, the lymphocytes which are there, if we talk about them, lymphocyte is of two types. One is T cell and one is B cell. One is the T cell, T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte. Their name is T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte. Okay. Now, their role is also quite important. Okay. When we are talking about the T cell, they are doing 2T. One T stands for target and one stands for trigger. There are two works of the T cell: target and trigger. So they will target the harmful cells, whether it is body cell or outsider cell. Even if a body cell is harmful or defective, they are going to destroy it. So they are going to target harmful cells. They are going to target this harmful cells. That is one of their duty, that they are going to target the harmful cells. Second part is trigger. So they are triggering, they are basically triggering the B cell. Why they are triggering the B cell? They are triggering the B cell so that they can produce antibodies. They can produce antibodies. What are antibodies? Antibodies are specific proteins to fight against certain diseases. So antibodies, if we talk about them, they are specific proteins to fight against diseases. Or infection. To fight against diseases or infection. So this is one part which we see. T cells are the one which are having two tasks: trigger and target. They are targeting the infectious cells or harmful cells in the body. Target and destroy. Okay. Second thing is, they are also triggering, they are also instigating, they are also like giving the instruction to the B cell that you have to create antibodies. Okay. What is the antibodies for? Antibody is for fighting any type of disease or any type of infection. So how does it work? See, just one more thing. When we talk about our body, this is the most effective. Around 60 to 70% of the work is done by neutrophils. All the fever, all the running noses, all the sneezing which you are having, it is because of neutrophils. Okay. When you are having running nose also, it is because of neutrophil. Okay. Running nose is not a disease, not a problem. It is a solution. Okay. It is a solution. Okay. When you are having running nose, it simply means you are removing the bacteria or virus from the body. So don't let it stop. Let it come out. Okay. So neutrophils are for the instant immunity. Okay. They are providing the instant immunity. So this is like three different part of WBC which you should be knowing about. One is neutrophil and another is lymphocyte. Okay. So neutrophils are playing a major role. Rest all others, they are doing some smaller works, like monocyte, it is creating a like entire what you can say, a complex form which is going to absorb and trap the bacteria and kill them. Okay. So they have a slow process. Same thing, eosinophil and basophils, they are having slow processes. So they are not, and they are in minute amount. They are in minute amount. There are two main things. One is the neutrophil and second number is lymphocytes, which are mainly working for our defense. Okay. Neutrophils, the instant immunity, and the lymphocytes, they are like having two parts, T cell, which will fight the infection, and then we have the B cell. So if you want to understand how the body's immune system work, it is like this. Suppose a person is having an infection. If a person is having infection, first of all, neutrophil will take the immediate action. Okay. They will raise the body temperature and everything. They will try to contain. They will try to contain or kill the bacteria or the virus. Okay. This is one part which is done by neutrophil. But then body also activates at the same time the T cell. The T cell will find out that if a bacteria is responsible for this, they will go throughout the body, even between the cells. If a space is left between the cells also, they will go there also. And they will find and eliminate the bacteria. But while they are going for this purpose, they also trigger the B cell. That if we are failing, you also have to prepare the antibodies. We are going to fight, but you also have to be prepared. You have to make the antibodies also, which will be the final layer of defense. So neutrophils are the first layer of defense inside the body. Outside the body, skin is the first layer of defense. We will see many part of lymphatic system. Skin is the first layer. Skin is protecting us from everything. Yeah. So inside the body, when it comes to the blood, in the blood, it is first neutrophil, the first layer of defense and the most aggressive layer. Yeah. Then after that, we will have the work of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes will again have two parts, T cell and B cell. T cell will first go and target the infectious cells or damaged cells or defective cells. And at the same time, they will also prepare the B cell. They will also instigate the B cell that you have to make the proteins, the antibodies, that we can have a third layer of defense. So that is like the working mechanism of our WBC. So this is one part inside the blood. Outside the blood also there are many things which are happening. But inside the blood, this is the main layer. When we will see the lymphatic system, then you will come to know that we have a daily chance of diseases. Every moment we can have any such disease, any such infection. But our body is fighting continuously, regularly. From every moment we can have a disease. That if we are not having a disease, like suppose you are falling ill in one at least one times in 1 month or like in 2 or 3 months you're falling ill, it means for the rest 90 days, your body has fighted against all the infections. They have failed only once, and when they fail, you get the infection. So we fight every day, we get infection one day. So that is how the body works. But when we will come to lymphatic system, we will see the details of it. So right now within the blood, one thing is RBC, one thing is WBC, and another part is platelets. I think this is one thing which every one of you know. When we talk about platelets, what is their main work? Like they are responsible for blood clotting. Now I think you understand that why the blood is relevant, why the blood is important for us. For energy also, for defense also, for transport also, for all other regions, blood is very important. Okay. So if we have blood in our body, we also have to safeguard it. And if there is any cut in the vessels, blood may be easily like pumped out of the body because it is under huge force. Okay. So it can easily come out of the body. And in that case, we have to ensure that if there is a cut, there is also a clotting. Now, how do they work? There are many things which are already present in our blood. Okay. There are many things which are already present in our blood, like calcium, sodium, okay, thrombin, fibrin. These type of proteins are present there. So calcium and thrombin, which is present in the blood, helps to make a protein called as fibrin. That fibrin creates a wall on the blood. But you don't have to go in that detail. You have to know only this part, that this platelet is helping in blood clotting. And you have to know also about this one thing, that there are certain proteins which are responsible for it. Thrombin, fibrin, they are certain proteins which are helpful in it. There is also one such part, calcium. So calcium is also something which is helping in the blood clotting. It is also present in the blood. This is also present in blood. So what we see that the platelets, they are responsible for blood clotting. Now generally we see that for this like blood clotting to take place, they require certain proteins. I told you in the beginning itself, proteins are everything. Okay. Proteins are like everything of life. So here also they need certain proteins. To fight the disease also they needed proteins. So everything is protein. Like when you will see later on also, you will find that each and everything is based on some protein only. Okay. So here also we have thrombin and fibrin. Now what happens that with the help of calcium, they are able to create a temporary wall. Like you may have seen it sometime, like during the childhood or even now, if you are having a small cut, you will find that after that small cut, there is a layer of the blood there itself. Okay. So that layer of the blood is the temporary wall which is created due to protein fibrinogen. And on that fibrinogen, the cell will develop. The cells, the skin cells are going to develop over that. So if you are having any cut, then this platelets come into picture. This platelet is creating a temporary wall with the help of these proteins, and then it facilitates a surface on which a skin can build up, okay, or vessels can easily grow. So this is one thing. They are helpful in blood clotting. Now there is one very challenging problem, dengue. If you have heard about dengue, you may have seen this one thing, that in dengue, there is impact on the platelets only. So how they create this impact on platelets? Basically, dengue is something which is creating the challenge for the bone marrow. It is not creating the challenge for the platelets directly. It is creating the challenge in the bone marrow, and they are inhibiting the formation of platelets inside the bone marrow. So new platelets are not getting created. At the same time, older platelets are getting destroyed. So as a result of this, the platelet levels are dropping. And if there is a drop in platelet level, then what will happen? There will be internal bleeding. There will be a bleeding from all the parts of the body. Blood may come out from the eyes, from the nose, from the ears, from every part of the body. So that is the challenge in case of this dengue. So when there is when we talk about this platelets, they are not in fact cell. They are fragments of cell. They are fragments of cell. They are produced by bone marrow. If low platelets, if someone is having low platelets, then internal bleeding may start. Like normal platelet level is 1,50,000 to 4,50,000. In case of certain people, it come down to 10,000. 10,000, 20,000, and if it goes further below, then there is internal bleeding, and that can cause death of the person. And if this is going above 4,50,000, then also there is a problem. Then there will be excessive blood coagulation. Blood will become thicker, and if blood is thicker, can it pass through the vessels? And if blood is not going to the different part of body, then what will happen? So heart issues. Okay. So then heart will not be able to work, and if heart is not working, then you know the result. Okay. So any change in the platelet level, if it is going beyond 4,50,000, or if it is coming down then 1,50,000, so then it is going to create problem. It is per unit. It's not the entire count. It is per unit. Yeah. But when we calculate this in a unit amount of blood per ml, so then this is the amount of fragments which are there. Per ml, this is the amount of platelets. Yeah. So in 1 ml of blood, you can have millions of cells. And when we talk about the platelets, they can be having number from 1,50,000 to 4,50,000 in 1 ml. Okay. See, donation of blood, when you are generally going to any of the blood center, you are donating the entire blood. Now, when it is being given to certain people, let us say, when there is a lack of platelets, they can be provided just the platelet out of it. When you are giving the blood, 1 unit of blood is actually 4 units of blood. They take out the RBC, they take out the plasma differently, they take out the WBC differently, and platelets differently. So all these units are then fragmented from it. If someone requires only RBC, they can be given just RBC. If someone requires platelets, they will be provided with just platelets. If someone requires WBC, they will be given WBC. If someone requires just the antibodies from the plasma, they will be given plasma. So 1 unit of blood saves 4 lives. Okay. That is one part of blood donation. You will donate everything. If you want it back, they will return it also. Okay. In some cases, there is an option that you can donate only plasma, rest of it will be given back to you. So that is also one option, that only there is this platelet which is taken out of the blood. The rest, if you want, they can arrange it back also. But normally it is not the condition. When you are going for donation, you donate the entire blood, they will take only the platelets out of it. So you will donate the full blood in general case. They will take out the platelet from it. continuous process. No, for our body there is no effect. Like suppose that if we are giving 1 unit of blood, in 1 unit of blood is not going to impact us for a normal person who is having like this, what we say, the hemoglobin count above 13 in case of male and above 11 or 12 in case of female. So anyone who is having like hemoglobin above this 13 level, if they are donating 1 unit of blood, that is not even going to cause any problem in them. So their platelets are already sufficient enough, and within 24 hours that is replenished. Within 24 to 48 hours that is replenished. How? Platelets also. Normally suppose that if there is a person who is having less than 1 lakh platelets, okay, so it means that his formation process is already on the lower side. If someone is having already the lower amount of platelets, so there is one thing, either he may be having some disease, okay. Second thing is he is already having lesser amount of platelets, and if you are withdrawing that also from him, so then it is going to create the problem for the donor itself, okay, that he has gone for donation, then after he needed donation, okay. So that is one challenge which may exist. Normally what you see that if someone is having less count than that, even if HB count is low, they will not take it. Even if there is blood sugar, they will not take it. In fact, even if they take your blood, it is not necessary that they are using the same blood. If you are donating the blood in a good hospital, like not just the buses which are going on, okay, if you are donating it in any good hospital, there is around 27 type of tests which are performed on that blood, from normal malaria to HIV. Okay. So if you want to have full body test, rather than going for full body test, you can get a free full body test. You can get the report of that also. Like the report is also being sent to you. So you can become a voluntary donor. If you give your blood, then you will get a juice also, biscuit also, and plus the full body test, and that is much more comprehensive than any of the body tests. Okay. So this is one point, like they check for everything, diabetes also, tuberculosis also, malaria also, each and every type of disease, sugar level and everything. They take the sugar level even before the donation. So blood donation is a full body test. Okay. So they give the report also of it. So whenever you have a doubt, so then you can go for this blood donation. Fully. So हाँ, that is free. Like platelet कैसे count किया जाता है? One by one, we count each and every. We take it one by one. We take the blood, then we put one platelet here, then one platelet, then one platelet, and in this manner we take like the entire thing. We will come to the blood group. Okay, we will come to this part of blood group later. So here we have this one thing, three things which we see here. One part is this WBC, RBC, and platelets. Okay. Now we have this one more part in the blood, that is plasma. Okay. But plasma is not a cell. The three things which we have studied, they are either cell or part of the cell. Like RBC and WBC, they are cells of the blood. Platelets, they are fragments of the cell. They are the fragments of the cell. But plasma is not a cell. What is plasma? Plasma is the liquid part. Around 92%, around 92% of the plasma is just water, and the majority portion of the blood is just plasma. Okay. Just to give you one such part, when we are talking about our blood, in our blood 55% part that is of plasma, then around 42%, 41 to 42% we have this RBC, and remaining 2 to 3% we have WBC plus platelets. So in our body, in fact, you will find WBC is around 1% only in most of the cases. So in our entire body, the major section is plasma, that is 55%, up to 55%. Near about 42 to 43, even sometimes 44% also, it is RBC. Then after we have 1% of WBC and a very small amount of platelets. So they are the main sections of the blood. And within the plasma, within this plasma, what we say that water is forming 92% of the plasma. 92% of the plasma is just water. Okay. That's why you have to drink water on a regular basis. Okay. Because you have to maintain that flow of the blood. Now, apart from this, there are antibodies, then there are proteins, then there are substances like calcium, sodium, potassium, magnesium, everything. All these things and different type of salt plus sugar, they are also present here. Sugar, fat, why you leave fat? Fat also. Okay. So all these things are part of the blood. Around 92% is water, in remaining portion we fill all these things. Okay. So that is one thing about plasma. And during the COVID, you may have seen that during this time of COVID, there was also plasma donation. So plasma donation was being done because of this one single thing, which is the antibodies. The antibodies which are there, they are present inside it. Who are making these antibodies? The B cell. The B cells are making the antibodies. Antibodies are basically proteins. So these antibodies are present in the plasma. Okay. In the plasma, and this is why plasma donation was also being done. So when you are donating the blood, that's why it is of 4 parts. Plasma can be separated, RBC can be separated, you can also separate WBC, you can also separate the platelets. So when you go to any such blood donation camps or hospitals, it is written there that your 1 unit of blood can save 4 lives. Okay, so it is one of their taglines also, that if you are donating 1 unit of blood, you are saving 4 different lives. So this is one thing, in the blood we have all these components. Okay. Now there is one more segment of thing, one more segment of blood which we have to see, and that is blood group. Okay. There is also this one thing called as blood group, and how we are exchanging it with other people. So which is the most rare blood group? Which is the rarest? The rarest blood group. The rarest blood group is AB negative. The rarest blood group, like among the four blood groups which we have, or the 8 blood groups which we have, there is one thing called as Bombay blood group or other blood groups. They are quite different thing. Okay. But the normal blood groups which we are having, in that the rarest blood group is AB negative, and the most common, so O positive is the most common blood group, 37%. Okay. So there is a misconception that O is rare, O is the most common. O positive is the most common blood group. Okay. O positive, like if you are going in the crowd, if there are 10 people, 4 of them or 5 of them will be having O positive. Okay. So out of 10 people, 4 or 5 of them are having just O positive. Remaining ones can have B positive or B negative or A positives. Okay. But O is the most common blood group. Okay. O positive. In class itself, we will find that most of the people are having O positive, and still they will be very much proud, like, because there is a misconception which is going on. Okay, that O is quite rare and you are a donor. Okay. So there is also this one misconception that if someone is having O blood group, so they are quite generous, they are quite noble. It's not like that. Okay. If we go by that logic, 40% of the people of world are quite good and generous. Okay. So it's not like that. I'm not saying about anyone individually. It is about the population. Okay. Now, so when we talk about the blood group, we will see that how it is decided. Okay. Basically, you know that there is something called as proteins, and some proteins are simply called as antigens. Okay. Their opposite proteins are called as antibodies. So in our body, in most of the population, there are two types of proteins which are commonly found. Okay. One is A protein or A antigen, and another is called as B antigen. There is a third type of antigen also, which is Rh antigen. There is nothing like O antigen. O is no such protein. So there are two types of proteins, A antigen, B antigen, and one is Rh. So we will see this Rh later. First we will try to see this A antigen and B antigen. Okay. Now suppose if a person is there, a person named XYZ1. Okay. If this person is having A antigen, if it is having A antigen only, so then he is going to have this A blood group. It is as simple as that. If he is having A antigen, he will be having this A blood group. We have the second person XYZ2. Okay. He is having B antigen. So he is going to have the B group. If there is the third person XYZ3, he is having both of them, A antigen also plus B antigen. So his blood group will be AB. And there is the fourth person XYZ4, he is having neither A nor B. So then that person is going to have O blood group. O is simply denotion of something which is not present. Okay. Then O blood, if you see computers and other thing, they denote it. In computer language also you will find something like if O is there, it means it is 0. Okay. So when we talk about O, it means there is neither A nor B. Okay. So that is the blood group which is called as O blood group. Okay. Now these proteins, do they have impact on development or characteristics? Answer is no. They are just for identification of the blood group. Apart from that, they have no role, irrespective of what is written on Facebook. Okay. So do understand this. They have no role in the body, they have no such role in the development or anything. There have been several research on this and there is no evidence that they impact development or characteristics. Okay. So this is one part, that if they are having A group, if they are having A antigen, so they are going to have A group, B antigen, B group. If they are having both of them, AB, and if they are having none, they are having O. Now there is one more part of human body. There is one concept which you have to remember till the end of this bio or biotechnology also. There is one simple rule, that there should be nothing extra in the body, that you don't have to put anything extra inside body. If you are giving something less, that is acceptable. If you are giving something less, that is acceptable, but nothing should be extra. Not a single extra protein can be added to the body, otherwise it is seen as a threat. Okay. So like if you are eating any protein also, if it is not naturally there in the body, it will be considered as a threat. So this is one single story of the human body, nothing extra. Okay. Now just see here one part. In this fourth person, is there any A or B protein? In the person who is having O blood group, is he having any A antigen or B antigen? So just tell me, if this one person wants to donate the blood to O, will it be good for O? Why? Because extra is coming. A is also coming, B is also coming. So double loss. Okay. Even if this one person is giving, the one having A group, then also there will be a challenge that extra A antigen is coming. Even the second person is trying to give, extra B antigen is coming. Okay. So that's why this person cannot be taking blood from any of them. Now if he wants to supply the blood to them, can he do it? Why? Because he is not providing anything extra. O means there is no antigen. So no bias. He can give it to anyone. Okay. So no biasness, neither towards A nor towards B. It is non-alignment. Okay. Neither alignment towards A nor towards B. So here he can give blood to all of them. So that is one simple concept. If you remember this one part, that there should be nothing extra, then you can solve all these problems. Now tell me this one part. There is one person XYZ1, he is having A blood group, and XYZ3, he was having AB blood group. If this one wants to give the blood to XYZ3, can he give it? He can be giving this. Why? Because he is not providing anything extra. But if we look at this, XYZ providing the blood to XYZ1. Why he cannot give? Because there is B extra. So this is not feasible because there is extra B. The B antigen is extra in this manner, so they cannot be giving it to the first one. So if you understand this one part, you have to add one more thing, and that is RH factor. RH stands for rhesus. Rhesus is a monkey. Okay. There is a monkey called as rhesus monkey. So protein is common in rhesus monkey and human blood also. Okay. So this shows our ancestral links. Okay. So rhesus is a type of protein found in rhesus monkey also, and even in humans. So now if RH is present, we call it as positive blood group. If RH is absent, we call it as negative blood group. So if a person is having, let's say, O negative, so what does it mean? That he is having none of the antigens, neither A nor B nor RH factor. Okay. If a person is having this O negative, it means he is neither having A nor having B, and even not having the RH. Okay. And if a person is having AB positive, so he is having all the antigens. Okay. Nothing is left. A also, B also, positive also. So anyone can give blood to him. Anyone can give blood to him because he will not have anything like extra. He is already having all the antigens with him. Whether you give him A or B, positive or negative, there is no problem because he is already having everything. So if O wants to give, they can also give. If A wants to give, positive or negative, both can give. Okay. Now one question, there is one person who is having A positive blood and they are trying to give a blood to someone who is AB negative. A person is having blood group A positive and they are trying to give the blood to AB negative. So is it possible or not? No. See, try to evaluate each and every part. They are having A, this one is also having A. It is having positive, means it is having RH. Is it having RH? It is not having RH. So that's why they will not be able to give the blood to AB negative. So whenever you have to check this blood donation part, just remember there are 3 proteins and one rule. 3 proteins are A, B and RH, and one simple rule is nothing extra in the body. So you don't have to memorize this table that who will give blood to whom and who will not give. So no need to memorize this part or make table of this that who will be giving blood to whom. Just remember the fundamental concept. One fundamental concept is 3 types of proteins A, B and RH, and one single rule, nothing extra in the body. So if you abide by that rule, you can solve any such question. Okay. So this is one simple part. Okay. Any question from online section? You see, tomorrow we are not having the class because tomorrow there is class of current affairs also. Okay. So we will have class on Monday for just 1 or 2 weeks because I am having one class at 1 to 3 p.m. itself tomorrow. Okay. So we will meet next on Monday at the same time. Okay. Adeno is working like normal DNA virus, or they also normal DNA virus. They are normal DNA virus. We will talk about this percentage of oxygen in the blood when we are talking about respiration. How to increase RBC and platelets. Go to doctor. Are you asking the doctor related question also to me? Chalo, so let's meet on Monday and then we will discuss the next part.